Hello and greetings from the Limitless Brain Lab. I am Dr. Sweta Adatia, neurologist, and today we are going to discuss something very interesting because we are in the month of February and Valentine's Day was round the corner. So let us think a little bit about love. If any of you have had the experience of feeling closeness to your loved one and suddenly feeling threatened from that loved one and suddenly feeling anxious and attached both at the same time. Have you gone through these ups and downs of the attachment? Then it is very, very important for you to know what is your attachment style. Well, love does not stay for long if you are not careful about your attachment patterns. I personally went through a lot of emotional trauma. My very, very close dear friend, she and me had grown together, and my own anxious attachment style was responsible for a lot of problem. Well, it was also the same case for her, so we both of us were reflecting each other's attachment style, and eventually the so-called love had converted into a lot of fights. So if you have been in love, if you have been in a romantic relationship, if you have been even in a non-romantic relationship, even between the child and the parent, between the employee and the boss, you name any relationship, if you are not conscious and aware about your attachment and how the attachment plays an important role, then this is the video for you. Go ahead and see until the end, because if you don't understand your attachment style, you may be sabotaging your relationship. You may lose an important relationship, and it is a self-awareness exercise where you should understand what your attachment styles are. The day I got to understand that why my behavior, why my personality is playing out in a particular way because of the attachment, I took a step back. I tried to understand the attachment theory, and today I will teach you that attachment theory because this changed my life. Every single thing in the Limitless Brain Lab is very experiential and something which is very scientific and something which can be immediately applied, which is the goal at the lab. So let us understand the stages of attachment, which starts actually not in the adulthood, but it starts right from the birth. When a child is exposed to the caregiver, that is where the principles of love, attachment, care, and association starts. So from birth to 6 weeks, there is no preference for the child for any person. As soon as 6 weeks to 7 months, the child starts to feel familiar people better. The child likes the familiar environment, familiar person, constantly wants that person. A clear-cut attachment comes between 7 and 24 months, where the child is now very much aware about the caregiver. And after 24 months, the child is even aware about the needs and that association between the caregiver. So there was an experiment which was done by a UK scientist, very bright, very interesting guy who did this entire research, where categories of babies were actually studied for microexpressions with their caregivers. And repeatedly, the caregiver and the baby's entire emotional regulation was studied until the babies became 30 years old. So let's assume that there was a category A of the babies, which when the caregiver left and came back, showed signs of empathy, that you would have gone because you had some work. In the category B, those threw some tantrums that why were you away from me? In the category C, the babies felt a sense of appreciation that yes, you went, I'm sure, I respect that, and now that you are back. And in the category D, they were completely oblivious to what did the attendant do. So they did not even pay the attention. So now each of the babies had different microfacial expressions, different emotions, and they were followed up for quite a long number of years, 30 years, to see what happens in their personality and behavior. Now, very interestingly, they continue to have the same personality traits in their attachment styles when they grew up as adults. So the attachment theory mentions that the way you conduct a relationship, the way you love a particular person in a relationship, the way you show your attachment is dependent on the primary exposure of your caregiver. And in your infancy until 24 months, what was that experience like? If you were loved and cared, felt secure, then you develop a secure attachment style. If you felt stressed, tensed, or anxious, then you develop an anxious attachment style. If you felt left out or if you felt uncared for, you develop an avoidant attachment style. And there are people who get a mix of both because it was quite disorganized. then they do get a mix of avoidant and anxious, also called as the disorganized attachment style. Now, why is this all the four styles important? Because if you are in love and if you're constantly seeking that attachment, even no phone call, no message, and suddenly that makes you very freaking, that what must have gone wrong, suddenly you start thinking negative, suddenly you feel that the world has come to an end, that is an anxious attachment style. Now you need to be very cautious of this, because it is finally harming you, it's hurting you. Now if you are least concerned and bothered, totally unbothered, then that's an avoidant attachment style. And if you are a mix of anxious and avoidant, then you are a disorganized type. Now go ahead and check this out for yourself, and go ahead and think about your partner whom you are loving, whom you are in a romantic relationship, whom you are also possibly in a platonic relationship, in a friendship relationship. What kind of attachment styles are you throwing at the person, and what is that other person also doing to you? Because understanding a secure attachment is very, very important. In the fundamentals of understanding love versus attachment, this is an important concept. It is also very important to have self-love. Most people talk about love as an external thing to be giving, but you can only give when your glass is full. I can only pour water when there is enough water in this bottle. Otherwise, there's no point in me continuously giving love but not able to actually feel that self love and self-care and self-compassion. So extremely important that at this Valentine we understand the entire equation of how the love develops, what is the way in which it goes beyond attachment, how does a platonic love develop, and when there is this kind of a love where there is secure attachment, there is always peace, there's contentment, there's happiness, there is a lot of good chemicals and chemistry which gets produced. Now it is very, very important for us to open up and be in the bioenergetic fields. I'm not an energy expert, but most experts say that you have a heart chakra. Now it's very, very interesting to note that heart chakra is at the center and there are 3 chakras below and 3 chakras above it. So if you open up your heart chakra, there's a potential that your energy flow can be increased. Now heart chakra has a beautiful frequency of 528 hertz which can unlock it. So we have built a solfeggio frequency of 528 hertz for people with wounded relationship, people with closed feelings, who are not able to forgive themselves, who are not able to forgive others, people who have been hurt in the relationship, who cannot overcome the pain of the relationship. 528 solfeggio can be very powerful. Essentially listening it for few days, 40 days, 45 days, you start to open up the frequency of that particular biofield, that particular chakra. Now people quite a bit wonder, are there certain chakras? Is there this really a science, a pseudoscience? Well, what I feel is, feel it for yourself, experience it for yourself. Go ahead and measure yourself wherever possible. Be inquisitive, be curious. There are answers lying inside you, and once you become a little curious and inquisitive, it will get unfolded. So coming back to the love and the attachment, it is very important to self-love, have self-compassion, have self-care, operate from the heart chakra, try to be giving. Generally, the people who have been giving love would always get love. If you're constantly in the need for love or beg for love, then that would be keeping you very anxious. That would be developing also an avoidant attachment style, and you are in for a lot of problems later in the relationship. So understanding love and attachment forms a very important thing. I strongly feel that youngsters, Gen Z, the teenagers must understand this attachment style, and the moment they understand that it's an anxious attachment style, we need to work to change it. Yes, attachment styles can be changed. Yes, we can move from an anxious to a secure despite being exposed to that in the childhood. Despite it being like a hardwired phenomenon, we can change it. I am a classical example of doing that. Every single time I develop a formal relationship, I observe myself. It is only about awareness. I call it the awareness of awareness or meta awareness. It is essentially being mindful. It is essentially being aware that what kind of attachment and what is going on behind the scene. Are you seeking that person? Are you constantly wanting to talk to that person? Are you constantly wanting a particular type of the message? Are you constantly seeking that referral behavior? Are you constantly seeking that accepting behavior? Then it's a caution, it's a red light, It's time to go into yellow and then green. Shift your attachment preferences and change your life. So go ahead and write down in the comment section, and also use our form below in the link where we have given you a way in which you can measure your attachment style. Also, go ahead and put in the comment section what kind of an attachment style and how do you relate this to your childhood. And please do not forget to share this to your loved ones, because finally, the moment we move from the avoidant and anxious to the secure and loud, the definition of love changes, the chemicals in the brain changes, the most contented and the blessed feeling is what will arrive at you. So thank you so much for helping us, supporting us by sharing this video. Every single like and every single share is adding value to the research, because we are self-funded and we love to explore the topics which works for your health, wealth and happiness.